Everybody loves that about Web3. Well, the businesses is like no takebacks. You authorize this transaction, it went through, like it's done. I'm keeping the money, and like you keep the thing, and like so everybody loves Web3 from that standpoint, and it's going to scale up, and I think like Ethereum's going to be like hands down, not even close to the winner, because you got to remember like cool, like Solana's good or Avalanche is good, or like you could do the same shit on like a bunch of layer ones, totally cool. There's like 50 of them or 100 of them or however many there are, but you need the consumer side. So like, if the consumer's like, yeah, I've never heard of that, what do you think they're gonna do? You think they're gonna like feel comfortable over there, or you think they're gonna think like it's a scam? And so like we're like everybody in this room probably knows like a lot about Web3, and so we're all super early. So we're not the people that like need convincing. It's like everybody else that never heard of that shit. You know what I mean? Those are the ones that like we need to like get onboarded, so to speak. And how we onboard them is making them feel comfortable about the transaction. And so like making it easy, making it like a couple clicks on the phone, and then it looks like your wallet does something, or kind of how the Apple Pay works and all that. And so could Solana do it? Yeah, I guess. I mean, a lot of people are going to do it in some way. I just think Ethereum has like the second best name compared to Bitcoin, and it's going to be easier for them to do it. And shit, if you just go look at like what everybody's doing, man, they're like getting on Ethereum quick. Tom Lee and like all these other things. It's like BMNR, SBET, like every day, like somebody's dropping like a new Ethereum treasury. So it's like really happening quick on there, and the trust is getting there super fast. So like, Solana, yeah, maybe cool, like whatever. But Ethereum, I think, like for me, has like the easiest, second best name in the business, and I'm excited about that one. So I know I said a lot, but
Oh no, you're good. I appreciate that, bro. Because like I said, we're recording all this, so the more in depth you go, the better. And
Mhm.
see, that's the thing with me, bro. Like, I'm not one of those people who like pick one and then like if you like other things, or or don't, or example, if you're not even a big fan of something I'm into it, I'm not like that, bro. So I like Ethereum too, bro. See, like I'm trying to put more of an open mind behind all this, you know what I mean? Because so people, and you can tell it's still like that, because like when you hear a conversation, like example, like right now, it's like you can tell people want to say what they like, but also want to not offend people at the same time. So it's like a tiptoe, but it's like, bro,
I
I,
don't mind the
I
offense because I want to have the conversation. So I think that's fine. It's like, tell me where I'm wrong or I'm getting it wrong or whatever. I would say a good way to think about like Web3 is kind of like back in the day, whereas like where you going to do your search from? Is it going to be AOL? Is it going to be Yahoo? Is it going to be Google? Right? Is it going to be DuckDuckGo? Like, that's a more recent one or whatever. But like, that's how Web3 is going to be. And so, like, who won that whole thing? Like, it's Google, like, hands down. It's not even close. Nobody's going to Yahoo to do some searches. It's going to be the same shit. Like, somebody is basically going to like run this thing. You know. So, who do you think it's going to be? That's what I'm trying to
Solana.
figure out. Okay. I mean, that's fine. That's an
No,
answer.
I'm playing. But no, like I said, bro, I'm a big fan of Ethereum too, and I've been saying people are sleeping on Ethereum. Because like I said, people move so fast in crypto. Because Ethereum was going sideways for a while, so that automatically had people saying it's dead like immediately, forever. So, I wasn't one of those people. I'm not. I've never hated on Ethereum. I dig so deep into crypto all the time. It's like, I understand that Ethereum is always going to be a big player. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the first. It's the backbone. You know what I mean? It's what everything's built on, or has some kind of, took something from Ethereum's playbook, or whatever, however you want to word it. But yeah, bro, Ethereum. You're not going wrong with Ethereum. In my opinion, Solana. You know what I mean? And there's a couple other, but I've learned not to. You can make money dabbling, you know what I'm saying? But like long term, there's only a couple that I feel like will really take, a big chunk of the, market share of everything going on, like the tokenized stocks and all that stuff, real world assets, the Web3 movement. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna be all those way down, in the lower market cap area. I mean, and that's not, see, that's another thing though too. Even with that being said, you never know, man. Some shit might pop up out of nowhere and just start, taking a big chunk out of everything. But yeah, bro, I agree with Ethereum for sure. You know what I mean? Like Ethereum is definitely a good play. It's getting the movement. I just seen it was up. It was going. I think it's damn near at 4K right now. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up Coin Market Cap
Yeah, it
because
was dipping last night. It was back down in the 30, high 35s. I don't know where it is in the last couple hours. Today it was
it's
back up
at
like in the 3600.
3,716 right now.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Yeah, so it's moving. You know what I mean? It's starting to get its traction, bro. And like I said, man, I'm trying to build people to be more open minded about it. You know what I mean? Because we should all be able to. Because like I feel like we should all be able to talk about what cryptos we see the potential in, and it be a normal conversation, and not, and nobody get weird or offended about it. Because you know how people get. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean 100%, but I think the reason people are like that is cuz like in general, there's not any actual use for it. You know what I mean? Like in most cases, it's like okay, Bitcoin store of value, okay, we all agree on that. It's digital gold, cool. Like what are they doing on the other chains? Like I told you, I've brought this up a few times. Like I'm buying World Cup tickets on there, right? Okay, totally cool. Like RWAs, like that's legit. There's one. We actually have like a competing, like kind of startup to this one, but there's something called Courtyard. If you guys don't know what Courtyard is, like check it out. It's always like in the top of if you go to OpenSea and look at volume, they're like always up there. And they have like a really, really cool way of doing it. Our competing business is the same as theirs, just, there's room for more than one, but like they've already done it and scaled it up. So what they do is like, let's say you wanted to buy um, Michael Jordan rookie card. All right. And let's just say this thing was like 20G. So like what happens is you buy it and then like you got to pay taxes on it. Let's say that you like my wife, for example, is from Brazil. I know like a lot of other people, they got family or friends like in some other country. Like my brother lives in Berlin, for example. But we got like people everywhere. Well, you buy some asset like that, the country's like, okay, cool, let us get some taxes on that money. You know what I mean? Like you spend 20,000 on this asset, like in Germany, for example, like they want, I'm just making this up, I forget what the percentage is, because we always try to duck it if we can. But let's just say it's 20%. So like Germany's like, hey, cool, congratulations on your $20,000 asset purchase. Like shoot us like 4G real quick. And you're like, oh, okay, well, I mean, that's a lot. Like, and then what happens when you sell it? Well, like now you're selling it, and let's say you get like, 30 for it. Like they want to like tax you on the whole upside, but you're already down four just on the taxes of acquisition. So what you can do with Courtyard is you can buy it and then it stays domiciled in America. So like you own it, but you've never taken possession of it. It stays in their vault. They send you the NFT, which is just the tokenized RWA, right? Real world asset. In this case, Michael Jordan rookie card. But there's no taxes because like nothing ever happened. And then you can sell the NFT, and whoever owns the NFT can redeem it for the asset whenever they want. But nobody ever got into a taxable situation by taking possession of this thing. And so, like, it allows you to capitalize on the upside of the appreciation of the asset. And then, like, if you really want to have it in your hands, cool, go ahead and burn the NFT. They'll send it to you. But in the meantime, like, you could trade this to people around the world or domestically or whatever. So, like, super, super smart idea. um, cool to do, like have things vaulted, um, and I like that use case. Loud punks. We talked about that a little bit last time. Gives you access to Rolling Loud. Music festival. And whatever you think about the festival is kind of secondary to the fact that like how they use the program. They're getting people kind of like it's kind of like your gym membership or whatever. It's like they throw the same thing or whatever, but in this case, you've prepaid for lifetime access. And so every time the show comes around or wherever it is, like you get a ticket to go. And, you paid them up front. So it's good for their business. They charged you like, I think it was like 2,500 bucks up front. It's usually like now it's cheaper to get into the show. Let's just say it's 500 bucks, so you've essentially prepaid them, 5 shows. And like the gym membership, I mean, they're hoping, and this is just business, this isn't them being malicious about it or anything, but they're hoping that, everybody buys it and then nobody shows up because, like, obviously it costs you a lot of money, every time somebody shows up, bathrooms and lines and bracelets and, other amenities or whatever. So they're hoping, that you show up less than that 5 times that you've prepaid for. But either way, it allowed them to have a big pool of money. I think in their case, they raised like, I don't remember the number, 7 or 8 million bucks. And so they could use that for whatever and grow their business. And now you have access to this thing. So those are like some real world like examples. Porsche also did a project where they issued an NFT and they have all these like cool experiences that you can get from Porsche. Like you got to design a unique NFT that would like change over time. So that was cool. You could like go to different Porsche events. Like that's legit. And so like those are the real world things that people are looking for. Like look, not bagging on anybody, man. Like, cool, you want to be in meme coins or do whatever, like, good for you, more power to you. But like that's not like a scalable, like real world use case that like anybody cares about. Like buying something, like you having an experience, like going to a show, that took like a business, there's revenue, there's an exchange, on both ends. Like I'm paying as the customer, they're providing as the business. Like that's the scalable side of Web3. Like we're making all of our lives easier. And so, like, whoever can do that more and whichever platform people are going to do that on is going to be the quicker winner or bigger winner in the end. So could Solana do that? Yeah, sure, anybody could, and I think they got a good chance. Again, I don't know this that much because I'm not really involved in this part of it, but like, doesn't everybody do like a bunch of meme coins and shit like on Solana? Because it's
Yeah.
like cheap.
So,
Yeah. So I'm just saying like that's not a market that like
um,
anybody's really excited about. You're never
well,
gonna
see
see a
this. See,
CMEC
this is
guy
the
on there.
thing, though. This is the thing. Like, I get it, and I'm not a big. I don't mess with meme coins like that. But at the end of the day, bro, you know, casinos work for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No matter how we feel and how much use case we're into, people like to gamble. And
Right.
Solana capitalized on that at the end of the day because, like I said, bro, like I'm not going around telling nobody to buy meme coins. Like you can't find one post where I'm like, hey, buy this meme coin. You know what I'm saying? But I'll give it to them. They capitalized on it, and there's and it shows because of like how much it has grown, and and a lot of institutions and people are starting to pick up on that. Like you'll see some of the big wigs talking about Solana, bro, and everybody knows at the end of the day, yeah, Solana mainly came up off of the meme coin thing because why? Because people love to gamble, bro. Like
Yeah.
it's just how it is at the end of the day.
No, that's fair.
And
They
on
just gotta
top of
pivot a
that,
little.
plus Solana also is also like a very fast blockchain, very cheap. You can do a lot of the things you can do on Ethereum on Solana
For
for
way
way
less.
cheaper. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, people
I've
love that.
actually used it. You know what I mean? So it's like I've gone. I do a lot of sending, receiving, and messing around with it. So like one my best experience has been using Solana, like as far as fees and sending and receiving. And like I said, bro, like there's room for Ethereum and Solana. You know what I mean?
Totally.
But I completely understand where you're coming from, though. You know what I'm saying? Like 100%. But I'm just all I'm saying is start paying a little attention. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm not telling you to like it, but I'm just saying, bro. Like the adoption's happening for Solana too, and You're slowly starting to hear these companies want ETFs. You're slowly starting to hear these companies building reserves with it too. And I think that's not for no
Right.
reason. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, bro,
I
like
think you're right, and that's fair. That's super fair what you're saying because ETH came up on NFTs, which were super scammy. So it's like why bag on Solana for having some meme coins, and then it's like ETH gets a free pass. So you're right. I mean, if the network is fast and it's reliable, and people like it, you can pivot, and whatever the beginnings are. I think there's, like you said, like room for a lot of people or a lot of different networks. And so maybe I've been unfair with Solana. And I did the same thing with Hood. I mean, forever I wouldn't get on Hood. I was telling Eddie this, like they've been talking about it for like more than a year. Shit, he was on it super early. And for months I was just like, nah, not interested, not interested. Cause I was mad about the GME thing. You know what I mean? And it's like that didn't even affect me. Like dude, I told you guys like my investment stuff. Like I'm not like I need fundamentals to get excited like really about something. I know I took a small position in open or whatever, but in general, like you don't even have any money and like it's all kind of like hype or whatever. I definitely can't invest in that for my clients, and for me it's like there's so many things to invest in, I can't waste my time. But like that wasn't fair, and to Eddie's credit and everybody else that was early, and to Vlad's credit, the founder of Hood. I mean, man, they're innovating quick. And like in the beginning, it was like, yeah, but they're doing shit that you could do like anywhere. It's like, yeah, but they never brought it to retail. You know what I mean? Like all the firms you could get fractional shares, but they never really allowed retail to do it. Okay, you could always invest in like these gray markets, like 24-hour, like there was always that. Yeah, but not for retail, and Hood did it. You know what I mean? So as like mad as I am that I think retail got burned on the GME thing, like I feel like they were smaller and again, I don't think they were malicious in intent. I think they just kind of like got strong armed a little bit into doing things maybe they would do it differently this time. And as they grow, like you're not going to push them around easy because they're going to be the biggest platform out there soon. So you're right, and I'm glad we're talking about it because I do have my feelings about it all, but um, I realize it's not really necessarily fair, and I'm you know just because they do some mean coins like talking shit on them. So all right, I'm glad we talked it out.
yeah, for sure, man. That's what it's all about, bro. Is open each other's minds and try to understand each other's why we like the things we like and why we have the conviction. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, there's always one thing I've learned, especially doing these spaces, is you'd be surprised how somebody else's view, you know what I'm saying, you might not have even thought about it like that, but when they word it in a way that somebody else might not have yet, it can open that door. You know what I'm saying? And hey, I was with you on the Robinhood thing to an extent because like but I've been using Robinhood for a long time, and I've always told because I'm a big believer in to invest in what you use and what you know, but I kept telling myself why not buy some hood, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, nah, I just didn't think it'd perform like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just didn't hop on the board of buying it, and I remember seeing it pretty cheap. You know what I'm saying? And I never did. I never pulled the trigger. I didn't. And then I seen they were doing like sports betting and all that, and that kind of turned me off for a minute. You know what I mean? But like I said, that's the thing though. Like you know what I mean? Like people love to gamble, bro. Like it just is what it is, and 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 Robinhood also capitalized on that. Like another thing that turned me off. It was when they did the presidency betting. I was like, all right, y'all doing too damn much. When you can like buy shares of who was going to win and all that. Yeah, that's what I was. That kind of
You know what's
had me
funny is
feeling.
that actually became they did that because Polymarket was doing it, and they became the most accurate predictor of the results ever